Hey, Dan Potter here, Director of Creative Works, and I'm going to talk through some vision to reality ideas around process in the work that we do. And so recently we delivered a tour content package for Ayliva for her 2024 tour, and we delivered many elements like show opener, we delivered song transitions, delivered song content, and some gauze effects that use a front gauze working with the back LED wall. And another thing that we did do, which I'm going to go into a bit of detail today, and is something that comes up a lot in the live show space, is how we integrate the IMAG, which is the video that's recorded during the show, onto the screens to work with the content that we create. So one of the first things that we do in any project at the earliest stage possible is the idea that we're all talking about. And the IMAG integration was one of the first things that came up that was important to everyone in the project, including the artist and the show creative director, Marvin. He came to us and was very insistent that we think about this early. So what I like to do as early as I can is to clear up any ambiguity in conversations. And so I sketched a stage and then the screen and then described how that content would look in the screen. And so here you can see a very loose sketch of a girl-like character, Ayliva. I didn't have to make it too precise at this stage. I just wanted to get the idea down that we were going in the right direction. And this was almost done half an hour of that conversation, maybe a little bit longer. But it allowed me to then put that Marvin's nose to make sure that we were on the same page and understanding each other in terms of what we needed to aim for. So Wind was one of the first songs that we'd kind of worked on creatively from the deck that we've been supplied as a vision. And you can see on the right here is a reference. And then on the left is my amazing development sketch that which from the original sketch of the idea. This one is actually probably better than this one, although this one really gets to the point, and you can see she's got a pretty stern face. But I then went on to work with Farouk, one of the designers, and he kind of helped me take it a little bit further while I was doing other parts of the project. He then visualized this kind of, which gave us this heart-shaped idea, which we then eventually, as we went further down the line, struck off as not really going the right direction. But after we developed the look and feel a bit further, we sort of here with a possible IMAG treatment that would then use notch effect to blend everything together. And as we developed the ideas further, so this one was for, or you could pronounce it Traum, in German, very important to some people. As we developed the content further, I started looking at how we were going to bring the IMAG, which was the live recording of the artist's performance through video camera, into the stage, so into the set. So you can see here, this was the initial idea of like fogging up the center and then allowing us to then drop the IMAG into that circle, that fog circle. Really the thinking here was like, if we've got this beautiful environment behind us, this was one of the in-production style frames that we developed as we were working on it. If we've got this beautiful environment, the problem with IMAG is that it's going to be film. And so one of the things that I proposed was this idea of a kind of moving fog frame that allowed the IMAG to sit nicely into this kind of fog-like environment, foggy environment. So that was one of the first ideas that I floated, and that actually ended up in the show, and it looked really good. Another approach I took really was to sort of simply sit her, so we could get at least 3 feeds into the screen. And this is an example of 2 feeds on the left and the right. And this allowed us to then sympathetically and synergistically blend in the IMAG feed into this beautiful content that we created without obliterating either world, the live video that the camera guys were shooting and the content that we were creating. And it was pretty cool because in some situations you had in the video frame, framed by the content in the back, like in this one here, this beautiful lotus flower like design that we created. Tony, big shout to you on that. It was a really well modeled and crafted visual. But it allowed us to then really create this world. So for the fan, and when you're in the audience and looking at the screen, your sort of eyes kind of like fixate in, and it becomes very immersive. And it did look very immersive. So any video recording that you get at the show doesn't really do justice to what it was like there for the fans. And we always know this when we approach a show. We always know that when you're in that show, when you're a fan in the crowd looking at that stage, the eye does this magic with the screen, especially a wide screen, where you get sucked into this world. So when you bring the IMAG and the content together, you get this really cool immersive sort of feel. So here we further explored taking the IMAG framing to the next level. These didn't make it into the show, and they were very cool, but we reduced the amount of branding in there, because that's something that we like to do, is to bring the brand into the environment, or connect the brand, in this case Ayliva, with the quality that we're modeling up. So, and we're creating in the visuals. So this one here was showing how we could use the environment to frame the IMAG content, and we started to develop that further, and we took that quite successfully into Murder and Sie Weiß and Hast du mit. I think we used quite nice content integration in that, which I'll show you now. So here's a really good example of where we built an environment, very immersive. And this has been built all in Cinema 4D and rendered in Redshift, and then lit dynamically to react to the audio and the music. But as we were working on this, it was like, well, and I'd known this right from the start as I've been developing the sketches, the early sketches of this, which are kind of like started here, and then we kind of took it to this point here. And so this was enough. As I was sketching these ideas, I was thinking, oh, we're gonna integrate IMAG into these, and the solution. I think we'd even chat about this on a Zoom call with Marvin and Roland, and we'd come up with this sort of, we'll use a billboard and we'll integrate the IMAG into it. So this was a rough idea to show everybody, and Ayliva, just where we could take the idea of, once we designed this great set, how the IMAG would, going from here into a shot like this. So we could do a lot with this one environment that we created, and then make a very cool IMAG integration element, which would then allow us to cut through the sections of the song from the intro to the chorus to the verse to the chorus to the intro, and we could use various shots to bring in storytelling which connected on stage back with the content. So everything fed into everything. The lighting was red, and then that fed into the IMAG, and so it created this very cohesive look in the live show. So you can see here, this was the final effect live, and when we're in the audience, it was very immersive and feels very integrated. But also it allows for alternate shots, and you're kept in that universe, that environment. And there was a lot of pyro in this as well, which may not be in this good, but there was a nice little bit of shredding there by the guitarist, the fantastic guy, which is a nice guy. And yeah, overall, this looked really impressive when you're in the environment, and I don't think the video goes against it, but the fans loved it. And then, as you can see from here, we've got this song transition, which is like this kind of immersive cloudscape in the back, and it allows a lead there. But then we get back into the next song. So from the Motel of Mordor, we go into Ella, and this allows for storytelling, which then starts with the overall scene. So again, as you're in the scene, look, this feels very immersive. The combination of screen and red, very enticing. Again, the videos don't do it justice. But then it goes into the first intro. Then we get this little IMAG framing, and yeah, this was what we were trying to aim for and create. This was very successful.